What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. I'm going to be completely honest, I don't know what to call this video, but what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be looking back at the gameplay from ESports Box Club all the way from June or April 2020. So now the earliest gameplay I could find was in about April of 2020. It had been deleted off their channels, but there was some people were able to send me some links from like old websites that had like spoken about it in the past. And I thought what we'll do today is we'll go and we'll look at all the gameplay that I can find in order from the first thing they posted gameplay wise to the last thing they posted at E3. I tried to get the dates as accurate as possible. I haven't done like the exact day, I've just done the month and year, so I apologize if I'm a month off either side, but I tried my best, and this is all of the gameplay I could find from, like I said, April 2020 all the way until last month. So let's get into it. So this first clip, or this first video, sorry, is from all the way back in April of 2020, and this is when you can really tell it was a small indie project. You know, on the canvas, you'll see there's not a huge amount of sponsors, mainly just their logo. You know, big commentary fight team. You see there Johnny Nelson, Paul Dempsey, Craig Stevens. You know, no huge names at this point. No, really anybody. The biggest names are really the trainers. You see there Ben Davidson, Dave Caldwell, sorry, Ryan Rhodes as the technical consultant. The gameplay still looked decent. It still looked like something we could play back then. But you can definitely tell that this was... I mean, they had Frank Bruno and Ricky Hatton there as well at this point as well. And they had Eddie Hoy, I believe, at this point. But, you know, the game still looked good. But you could definitely tell it was the small indie project that they wanted it to be and what they started out being. It didn't look bad. It still looked good. But you will see throughout this video the huge improvements they have made. I mean, within a year and a half, you'll be blown away after seeing this towards the end of the video. And we'll see here the next two clips are both from August of 2020. This first one is more of a teaser for the gameplay, how they kind of leveled the visuals up for the gameplay. You'll see there Johnny Nelson. It does kind of look like Mike Tyson from behind, but it's Johnny Nelson sitting on a bench and he stands up, and it shows how good the game is going to be able to look. As you see, it says actual game engine footage, so you can see how good they planned on having the game wanting to look, and since then it has only gotten better. But this was definitely a big teaser trailer they had in August 2020. Remember, at this point it was going to be 4 months until the game was meant to drop in early access. It was supposed to drop in December of 2020, but you can see there just kind of that little teaser that they showed that was like, wow, this is really going to be a real high quality game. And now the next clip, I need a little bit of backstory for this, and the reason it kind of looks a little bit blurry is because I got it from a WBC, it was like a private video, an unlisted video, sorry, that somebody sent me. It was like a closed kind of party thing that a few people were a part of. It was like an hour-long live stream, and I had a couple of the guys from Still City Interactive there talking, and they showed this of the fighters moving around and some, you know, Ricky Hatton. I think, who's the other one? I think it was Josh Warrington's there, Johnny Nelson's in there, Kid Galahad, I think, maybe, off the top of my head. I apologize if I got anyone wrong. But, you know, you can see kind of how the feet almost look like they are stepping, and the footwork is very nice, but they almost do, in a sense, they do look like they're kind of gliding. I will rerun this clip a couple of times just while I talk, but that's how I was able to get this clip. At the end of the video, I will thank the guy that had this idea. But, you know, the punches still looked good. It was very realistic, the way, you know, they're kind of snapping their jabs off and they're moving their hands around, and, you know, it's not stagnant movements, and it did look very, very clean. And this was August, so this was 11 months ago, so it wasn't even that long ago, really. Yet, still, the improvements they've made are incredible. But back then, yet again, it still looks like a very playable game, a very playable indie project. Few more big names behind it at this point. You know, as you see, they've now got Ricky Hatton actually in the game there, and a couple of other names. But still, you know, like I said, a playable game. Definitely still looks like the indie project that it was initially supposed to be. And now we move on to the bee's knees of November 2020, and that is the Alpha Movement trailer. This is when they stepped their game up. So they went from August to November and stepped their game up in such a fucking insane level. Like I said, I may get some of the dates wrong, but still, even from the April gameplay that I show you guys at the start of this video to here is insane. The quality is next level. The ring looks insane. The lighting is mental. The movement is so fluid and real. It is honestly mind-blowing where they've come from. To do this in January to August is insane, but how they've done it from April to August and August to November and April to November is just mind-blowing. I remember seeing this trailer and being fucking stoked by it. I couldn't believe what I was seeing when I saw it. It is just insane. And this trailer for me will never get old. It will never ever get old. It's one of the loudest trailers I've ever seen in my life, but it will still never ever get old. The way they made these guys move is just insane. And obviously we got to see some more fighters in action. Arturo Gatti, Conor Benn, yet again, come November, that had some even bigger names signed. Joyce was already a part of the game at this point, but he had not yet been seen in gameplay. But still, you know, absolutely insane. You know, this, yet again, as I've said for all the other clips, this looks like it would be a very playable game. So now this clip, I'll have to replay a few times because it is very short. This is from the first ever fighter announcement they done in March of 2021. Now, the highlight wasn't really gameplay. The focus of that video was supposed to be about the fighters that were announced. And we got obviously Crawford and Roy Jones and things like that. But they did show these little 10-15 seconds of gameplay, maybe about 20 seconds. And it sparked a shit ton of controversy, a shit ton of arguments, a shit ton of doubt, a shit ton of support. It was, I mean, I personally fucking loved it. I thought the knockout on David Adelaide was awesome. I thought the gameplay we saw between Rocky Marciano and Joe Frazier was awesome. I thought everything we saw here was awesome, and it created a lot of content, it created a lot of controversy. But this was, what they said was, this was older gameplay than where they were currently when this announcement actually dropped, but they wanted to show it still. And for me, I thought it was awesome. I'm not really a negative kind of guy when it comes to games, because, you know, the game creation process takes a fucking shit ton of time. But I really liked it, and you know, like I said, this was from a step up. This was from November to March, and you can even tell it's been less than a year since the first snippets I showed you guys back in April, and already the game looks like they've had 4 years to work on it. And then we go on to the big dog, that is the alpha gameplay video, when they done a 7-minute video or so, you know, a few bits of talking and a series of different clips between David Adelaide and Eddie Hall, as well as small movement clips with Lyndon Arthur. And throughout this video, we got to see some really interesting things, you know, such as the check hook, the counters, the feints, things like that, you know, and it was really cool to see. We get to see the movement in action. We got to see that not every shot is going to be tracked and pinpoint accurate. It is going to be a very, and this is when we realized it was going to be a very realistic game. And this video definitely, like I said about the others, definitely sparked some controversy, but it also blew the game up. And for fans and hardcore fans of the Esports Boxing Club and Steel City Interactive, we were fucking stoked for this. But yet again, this also came out in March of 2021. So same as the first fight announcement that came out, I believe March 20th, 2021, this alpha gameplay came out in March 28th, 2021. So March was a busy month, man. We got a lot of shit, but this gameplay for me and for the community, I feel really blew us up. We had a lot of little bits that we saw, you know, in the background, little things that maybe people might not notice. There was lots of videos that were things you may have missed. I made one as well. And I made videos of things that I really loved. The Lyndon Arthur footwork was one thing that I really fell in love with. The countering for sure. You'll see throughout the gameplay, Eddie Hall throws a counter body shot, which is just fucking beautiful. And, you know, looking forward to using that with the quicker fighters is going to be something that's just unbelievably clean. But you can see how they have stepped it up within less than a year. Well, actually, I suppose it has been a year, but from the alpha movement trailer that people said they didn't like the look of to this, that is only November to March. And even actually, it's been less than a year. This alpha gameplay was in March. The footage I showed you guys at the start of the video was April. So from April to March, that's 11 months of improvements. Throughout COVID as well, and throughout lockdowns, they still managed to make this. And to me, that is just fucking insane. And to watch it now, like I said, I didn't really watch all these clips through. The alpha one, obviously, I've watched a shit ton, but the earlier ones I've never really watched. So for me to watch them and go, my God, look how much they've improved in 11 months, 10 months, 4 months from the alpha movement to this is honestly mind-blowing. And yes, the team has got bigger. It's not AAA big. You know, they show things like the adrenaline system as well throughout this video. But the team is not ginormous anymore. Sorry, the team is not ginormous. It's still reasonably sized team. You know, I think it's got less than 30 or 30. But still, what they are making is just insane. And watching this older gameplay, you can see the real love and the real heart they're putting into the gameplay. And you know, that's something that I think all the fans could really see, that they were really like, you know, they want to put their all into this game. And, you know, they really have. I mean, you can't really argue with it. But this was, you know, when we got to see a huge amount of gameplay. And it was fucking awesome to see, you know, these huge amount of gameplay. We got to see, you know, about 4 or 5 minutes of gameplay. And we really couldn't argue with it. We got to see a bit of the corner throughout this as well. And, you know, they show off a few things with the stances and bruising of the arms and stuff. And I mean, honestly, it really was mind-blowing. But then, as you guys know, we didn't get hardly any gameplay until quite a while after. And then we move on to the final clip, which is June 2021, which is at the Future Game Show at E3. We started off with a few screenshots, and then we went on to some movement. Obviously, this is some gameplay we had already seen from the Alpha Movement trailer, but there was some new gameplay with knockdowns, rocks, general striking, things like that. And, you know, so at this point, we've had a year, you know, from the initial gameplay we saw in April to all the way in June of 2021. That's about a year and a half. And to have the growth and the upgrades that they have had is insane. I don't know how they've made these improvements in this short amount of time. And especially with the community up their arse all the time, it's really, really mind-blowing that they've achieved this. And, you know, while, yes, we have maybe not seen as much gameplay as people would have liked, at the end of the day, what company do you guys know that shows off gameplay pre-alpha? Not many companies do. Normally it's screenshots. Not many companies show things off pre-alpha, and I don't think will ever get that. Alright guys, just got to interrupt myself real quick because I wanted to do a side-by-side. The one at the top left is from June of 2021, and down the bottom right is from April 2020. You can see just side by side the just absolutely insane difference in the gameplay itself. It is mind-blowing. I thought I couldn't do this whole video and not do an actual side-by-side. It just wouldn't be right to do a side-by-side, to do this whole video comparing the journey they've taken and not do a side-by-side. It would just be weird to do that. And as you can tell, it has just been a phenomenal journey. The difference is insane. Never is there a kind of time throughout this game's life, looking back on it even now, where I would have not played the game. I would have always played the game. But what they've created in less than a year and a half. Obviously, yes, you know, the gameplay in April obviously would have been being worked on for maybe 5, 6, 7 months, who knows. But still, the journey from when they dropped that in April, as you can see, it's all the way to the journey in June is just madness. It is just absolutely fucking mind-blowing. But anyways, I just thought I would want to show you guys this quick side-by-side. I'm hoping I can get them both on screen so you guys can see them both well. I might do it, as I said, in the top left and top right corner, but I'll have to see what works out better when I'm editing. But anyways, I will I had to interrupt myself here quickly, but I will let you guys carry on with the rest of the video. And yeah, enjoy. Anyways, that's pretty much the end of the video, guys. You know, so that's all the gameplay I could find from April 2020 all the way until June 2021. And in less than a year and a half, it has gone from a tiny indie project with Ricky Hatton and Frank Bruno being the biggest names they had, and Ben Davidson being the biggest cornerman, and Dave Caldwell being the biggest cornerman, and Craig Stevens as the announcer, which was mind-blowing back then, to over 200 fighters. Incredible 4K scans of fighters. Fighters like Canelo, Terence Crawford, Roy Jones Jr., Muhammad Ali. In a year and a half, in less than 2 years, to pull this off is insane. And watching this has really been a bit of an eye-opener for me to be like, wow, for me, they've done well. And I'm not even, you know, tooting their horn. It's just incredible to see. I would love to see more game companies show things of how things looked on their game a year and a half ago to how they looked now. Given the size of the company and how small they actually are, they've taken on a huge project, and it's just awesome to watch, and, you know, absolutely incredible. But anyways, that's going to do it for the end of the video. So thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe down below, and a huge thank you to JSober77, who on Discord said, "Hey bro, how you doing? I have a video idea for you. Maybe react to all the esports boxing club trailers from the shitty one showed in February last year," which I think he meant April, but there could have been one in February and I just didn't find it, to the latest one, and talk about the gamer's progress over the time and share your thoughts. This is just an idea, but I think you'll be interested as no one has done it yet. And, you know, thank you to you. I said I would do it. I've done it. He helped me find the links as well. He found 2 of the links for me for the early gameplay. So thank you to him as well for doing that. I really do appreciate that, brother. If you guys ever have any video ideas, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. And, or, you know, message me on Discord. I will try my best to reply to it. I replied to this guy pretty quickly, so I'll try my best to reply to you guys too. But thanks always for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.